Good afternoon. Hello, students. It is Wednesday, story time with Miss Amanda. I'm here today to read you a Christmas story. You know that it's the month of December, and December is the month that Christmas is in. I'm going to read you a story titled The First Christmas. This is the story about the birth of Jesus Christ and that he was born in a stable. Here at Rayfield, for the month of December, the theme is Sing for the King. And you all know who the King are, right? The King is Jesus Christ. That is who the King are. So here at Rayfield, we will be singing for the King this month. I will be reading this story, The First Christmas. This story was retold by Rachel Ellick, and illustrations are by Caroline Peddler. I want you to sit back, I want you to relax, and I want you to enjoy this story to the fullest. Learn about the birth of Jesus. Learn that he was born in a stable. And I also want you to know that he is love. God is love. So the king is love, and he was born in Bethlehem. The first illustration will show you the three wise men as they traveled to Bethlehem. They traveled bearing gifts. They brought gifts to the newborn king. The large star guided the three wise men to Bethlehem. They saw that large, bright star, and they knew at once that that star was a star letting them know that the birth of the baby had taken place. Long ago, in a place called Nazareth, there lived a girl named Mary. She was engaged to a carpenter named Joseph, and she would daydream all day long as she go about her chores, thinking about her upcoming wedding. One day, Mary noticed a stranger smiling at her. She knew at once that it was an angel. The angel said, "My name is Gabriel. I have brought you a message from God." Mary was too amazed to speak. God have chosen you to do something special for him, continued Gabriel. Soon you will have a baby, and you will name that baby Jesus. He will be the Son of God. He will be God's own, very own son. Mary was happy. She was so happy to do what God had asked. But Joseph, on the other hand, Joseph felt upset because he knew he wasn't the father of that child. He said, "I love Mary, but I don't know if I should still marry her, being that she is pregnant with child." God heard this prayer. Then that night, God visited Joseph in a dream. "Do not worry," he told Joseph. "Do not worry." So the next morning when Joseph was awakened, he decided that he would go and he would still marry Mary. So they waited patiently after their wedding. They did get married, because he trusted God when God came to him in that dream. So they patiently waited for the baby to arrive after their wedding. Soon after the wedding, the emperor of Rome, who ruled over the land where Mary and Joseph lived, sent orders through his messengers. Everyone must travel to their birthplace to be counted, said the messengers. Joseph had been born in Bethlehem, a long way away. Joseph packed enough food and water for the journey, and Mary made bundles of blankets and clothes for when the baby arrived. They said their goodbyes to their friends and family, and they set out on their journey to Bethlehem. The journey to Bethlehem took many, many days. It was late at night when they finally arrived, and Mary was very tired. "Let's find a place to stay for the night," said Joseph. But every inn they tried was full. There was no place in Bethlehem. They had no rooms available. There was nothing there for Mary and Joseph to spend the night. When they arrived at the last inn, the owner shook his head. "There's no room at this inn," he said. "Everyone have come to Bethlehem to obey the emperor's orders." "What can we do?" Mary asked. "My baby is coming very soon." "Come," said the kind man. "I have a place that just might do." So they followed the man. They followed him. The innkeeper led them to a stable behind the house. It was filled with animals, and the floor was covered with fresh straw. "This is a warm and safe," said Mary. "This place is warm and safe. Thank you so much for your kindness." That night, Mary gave birth to a little boy. Joseph lined a feeder through with straw and made a soft bed for the baby. Mary wrapped the baby in a blanket and laid him down gently in manger. "We'll name you Jesus, like the angels said," whispered Mary. So they named the baby Jesus. Nearby, some shepherds was watching over their sheep on a hillside. Suddenly, there was a dazzling brightness all around them. "What's happening?" they cried as angels appeared. "Don't be afraid," said one angel. "I have wonderful news. The Son of God has been born in Bethlehem. He is the King that God promised us." The light faded and the angels was gone. The shepherds looked at each other in wonder. "We must go to Bethlehem and see the baby king," they agreed. Here is a picture of the shepherds. And here is a picture when the angels arrived to tell them the news of the newborn baby Jesus Christ, the King, being born. Wow. So the shepherds decided they was going to Bethlehem because they wanted to see the newborn baby king. The shepherds walked through the quiet streets until they heard a baby cry and they found a stable. We have come to visit the new king, they said. God sent an angel to give us the news. You are all welcome, said Joseph. We are poor, said the shepherds as they knelt by the manger. We have nothing to give the baby but our love. And Mary said, that is the best gift in the world. Love is the best gift. Soon it was time for the shepherds to return to their sheep. They told everyone they have met about meeting the newborn king. Here is another picture of them all knelt down by the newborn King Jesus. This is the shepherds as they come into the stable where Jesus had been born. And they went back. They spreaded the good news. They told everybody that they had met the newborn king. In a far-off country, 3 wise men. Remember I told you guys that it were 3 wise men bearing gifts, that they spotted the bright light in the sky that brought them to the stable? Well, in a far-off country, 3 wise men noticed a new star in the sky. They knew that that meant something special. It is shining because a new king have been born, said one of them. Perhaps the star will lead us to him, said the second one. Let's take some gifts and go and worship that king, said the third one. The wise men set off for the city of Jerusalem. After traveling for many nights, the wise men arrived at the palace. They were sure they would not find a new king there. No, they were sure they would find the new king there. They was taken to the ruler, King Herod. We have come to worship the new king, they said. King Herod was worried. He wanted to be the only king in the land. Who is this new king they speak of? He whispered to the advisor. The prophet once said that a new king would be born in Bethlehem, the advisor said. King Herod decided he must stop the baby taking his throne. I want to worship the new king too, he lied. King Herod told a lie. He did not want to worship Jesus. He wanted him dead because he did not want anyone taking his throne. So he said, go to Bethlehem, then return here and tell me where I can find this newborn king. This is King Herod as he sat on his throne, and he lied to the 3 wise men that he wanted to meet the newborn king. Because he knew in his heart he didn't want to meet the king. He wanted the newborn king dead. The wise men traveled to Bethlehem, where the star led them to the new baby Jesus. We have come to see the new king, said the wise men. Mary welcomed them in, and they knelt down to give Jesus their gifts. Here is a precious gold one of the wise men had to give. I have brought sweet-smelling fragrances, said the second wise man. And this is myrrh, a healing oil, said the third one. So all three of them bear gifts to give to the newborn king, which was Jesus Christ. That night, the wise men came outside Bethlehem. While they slept, God visited each one of them. He wanted them not to return to King Herod. Because, see, God knew what King Herod had in plan. So in the morning, the wise men agreed to go straight home. King Herod was furious when he learned that the wise men had disobeyed his orders. I am the only king, he roared. I will not let a baby take my throne. This is King Herod, because now he is so furious because he did not know where to find the newborn king. God sent an angel to warn Joseph, and Herod was planning to harm Jesus. So Herod was planning to warn Jesus, and God sent angels to Joseph to let Joseph know what was going on. You must leave Bethlehem at once, said the angel. Escape to Egypt, where you will be safe. Joseph woke Mary, and he quietly loaded their belongings onto the donkey. Carrying Jesus, they set off into the night. Jesus was safe in Egypt, but Mary and Joseph, they had missed Nazareth. They was unhappy. A few years passed peacefully. One night, God sent an angel to speak to Joseph again in a dream. Joseph and Mary packed their belongings because King Herod, in the dream, God told Joseph that King Herod had died. He was dead, said the angel. It is safe for you now to return home. So Joseph and Mary packed their belongings and set off once again. When they arrived, they was overjoyed to be back at their hometown at last. Joseph held Jesus as he stood in the doorway of their little house. This is Nazareth, the town where you will grow up in, he spoke to the baby Jesus. He said it with a smile. He said, welcome home, Jesus, because they had made it back to Nazareth after many, many years. They was afraid to come home because they knew that King Herod was going to kill the baby Jesus. So after the angel appeared in a dream telling them that King Herod is dead and that they now can return back home to Nazareth. This is where Joseph and Mary was praying and hoping to return to through years. They have been praying to God that they will be able to return back to Nazareth. So since the death of King Herod, and he was no longer a threat, Mary and Joseph, they brought baby Jesus to Nazareth, and they spoke to him. They said, welcome home, Jesus. This story was so adorable. It was so nice. It was nice to know that Jesus was born. He was born in a stable, and he lived his rest of his life in Nazareth after the king departed. So I hope you enjoyed this story. Remember, I told you at the beginning that this story here at Rayfield, December, the month of December, is the theme, a song for the King. And we know that Jesus Christ is the King. So guys, let's sing a song to the King this December. Let him know that we are filled with joy and how happy we is to know that he was born. He was born to give us all love, and he was born that we, as the people, would spread his love amongst each other. I would like to say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from Miss Amanda and from Rayfield. With all of our heart, we give to you the love of Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry, Merry Christmas.